Hello and welcome to tonight's to Untold Series Project. And tonight's we present a brand new episode of Born of Rage, our World of the Apocalypse game set in White Wolf's World of Darkness. My name is Jonesy, and I'll be your storyteller for this evening. On a quick note for those unfamiliar with the World of Darkness, this is a horror setting where the players take on the role as monsters. In our case, werewolves, also known as guru, amongst their own kind. Um, quick note about the content of the stream. This is a horror game where the players may engage in adult language and content from time to time, and they may also encounter scenes of graphic violence, and they may encounter NPCs who use offensive language. Um, the so uh, with that, if these topics are uncomfortable, we totally get that. We totally welcome you to check out one of our other great streams, such as our Mutants and Masterminds game on Mondays, or our upcoming uh, Monster Heart game, or Call of Cthulhu. If you're a little bit more, if horror is your thing but gore is not, then that might be something that you might want to check out. Um, with that, I'd like to turn it over to our amazing players so they can introduce themselves.
Hi, everybody. I'm Alex, and I will continue to play Darren, now known as Nexus Slayer. He is a Get Fenris Arun in the pack alpha of the Trail Mix pack. So I'm very excited to continue our journey into past life problems.
Evening, everybody. I'm Aaron. I'm still playing Kennedy, now known as Blood on the Dance Floor. Former Irish dancer, now realizing she's a Fiona Galliard, and very, very angry redheaded girl.
Hey everybody, I'm playing Killian Jackson. I'm a Ragabash class walker, and I just got a new arm for life.
At least it's a robot arm.
That's true. It's got a spirit in it.
You're basically the Wolfer Soldier.
Yeah.
Oh.
We're here all week, everybody.
Wow. Hi everybody, I'm Andy, no not that one, and I am playing Dell. This is the Theurge of the pack, a lupus-born child of Gaia, who is now in New York and is having to learn some strange new ways. For example, he knows he really wants to have Hamilton tickets, he just doesn't know what they are.
So, with that, thank you everyone for tuning into this evening. As a reminder note, we are a very small independent tabletop RPG channel. Our goal is to highlight games and settings that don't get as much love as the bigger established 2 or 3. To that end, we would strongly ask, if you like what we do, please let your friends know. Please share, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. The more you do of that, the less hateful the Weaver algorithm, that is YouTube, blocks our stuff for those watching it on YouTube. And those watching it live, if you do give a subscription or bits or follow or any of that cool stuff, you can unlock stuff to help the pack on their quest. As we mentioned, as one of the pack members mentioned, they recently returned from a quest into the cyber realm and the deep hearts of the Umbra. During said mission, one of our pack members was seriously injured and ended up losing an arm. Lucky for him, the cyber dogs of the cyber realm, groups of wayward glasswalker guru, were willing to cut a deal and give him a new arm. They also encountered a older weaver spirit by the name of Legend Lore, who gave them a whole bunch of info about their ancestors and the connection, their lines to the various other lines of the Guru, and some impending weaver worm spirits that seem to be awakening. That journey led them to trying to get out of the cyber realm and return to the Sept of the Green in New York City. And they ended up getting sidetracked into a routing node where they had to an 8-bit adventure of their life as they encountered spiritual remnants of an old Atari 2600 game and managed to get out and get back to New York City.
Is that even 8-bit? I think that predates even 8-bit.
Oh, I do not recall. I will Google that at some point.
It's a side point. It doesn't really matter, but
Yeah. I'm so sad that I missed that last week. Dell would have loved to have chased the duck.
Yes, they encountered 2 of the 3 dragons.
It's funny because the dragons look like ducks. Ask your parents.
Ow! Ow!
Anyway.
Tonight we currently find the Sept kind of bustling and hustling as news of the return of the Trail Mix pack is getting spread far and wide. And it seems that Killian has a tag along now, a small spirit known as Bit, who can say 2 things to him: yes and no.
Well, yes.
The pack themselves are huddled up in Darren's small New York apartment. And what is the pack currently doing?
Well, in addition to our plans to go and talk with the SEP, Kennedy would want to make a phone call, to the Rileys just to let them know that she is back here in town for the night, or not for the night, but for the short period of time, and what all we're up to, and all of the craziness. Just a check-in. Doesn't have to be anything big, but she would want to let them know.
Okay. How much have you told them about what's going on, as far as the subway token and the Roman coin and the stained glass token that the pack has received?
We pretty much went straight from getting the talons to heading into the subway, didn't we? We didn't. I mean, we sent Christos back to Darren's apartment, but we didn't really stop to do anything else.
That's right.
So I don't think that I would have had the opportunity to tell them anything about it before we went to the cyber realm. How much will I tell them? I mean, they're kinfolk, and they're, the father of the family was kind of helping guide me through things, so probably wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't go into great detail, but probably wouldn't have hid anything.
Okay. Including so you told them about the subway token. You told them about, and you did a little quest to the Ember, and they're like, okay, well, glad you got back safe. Then you told them, well, mostly safe, and as Killian lost an arm, but yeah,
we're Guru. We get battle scars. It's a thing.
But
It happens.
have you enlightened them about anything about the possible connection to these 3 or 4 powerful worm creatures?
I think I would ask, because it's, I don't know if I'm directly blood related to any of them, but it's possible that, again, he's clued in enough. You made the comment that he even knows some gifts, so it's possible that he knows something and could fill me in. So yeah, I think I'd just be like, blah, info dump.
Okay. Good to know. So yeah, you managed to do that. Was there anything anyone else wanted to make sure they accomplished? Mundane world-wise, at least.
I was going to take a shower, but Kennedy used all my hot water.
True.
Monster. It's one more point in the Guru or Monsters category as far as Darren's concerned.
Kennedy feels absolutely no guilt over this.
You used all the hot water. Lose a point of humanity.
Otherwise, Darren doesn't have any chores or anything that he's looking to accomplish prior to us meeting with the elders.
Dell has anything at the moment. His schedule is pretty free.
I'll turn Hamilton on my Spotify for Dell's sake.
He'll.
Okay. Well, you did last episode. You did manage to reach out to uh, um, his name, Victor Helms, one of the elders of the Sept of the Green, and asked him to help arrange for you to have a meeting because you have questions, and you're hoping that they have answers. So, with that, the pack, you get a call back, Darren, that yeah, they can arrange for a meeting tomorrow night. The elders are a little busy at the moment, but you know they feel like they can make time for you. It's just they've got other stuff that they're attending to. So you guys basically have a night off to do stuff. Is there anything that you want to accomplish, Killian? You're the one person I haven't asked yet. So.
No, I don't really have any housekeeping. Guess I'll try to mess with my arm to see if I can put more stuff on it.
In which case Dell will probably go have a bit of a run around the park after dark. You know.
Cool.
You don't get to do that very often. Maybe he'll get sworn at by Annie Leibowitz.
Do you want to accompany?
Oh, of course.
I used to go running with Fia. It's been a while since I've had the chance to do it in New York.
I did mean like the four-legged kind of running.
No, that's fine.
All right.
I'm not picky.
So the two of you take a break and go do some running. Killian's tinkering a little bit with his new arm, and then night goes by pretty uneventful. You guys get dinner, have some relaxing, eventually, since Kennedy's out, Darren finally does have time to take that shower because the hot water is back.
Good deal.
You're welcome, Pack Daddy.
Dell's getting a couple extra points on the pack roster.
So,
Gold star, boom, right on his board.
It's okay. It just means that Kennedy's going to take another shower after she gets back.
My water bill. I can't afford water in New York City.
If you can afford an apartment in New York City, I think water is the least of your.
Look, I've got 3 dots in resources. I could barely afford an apartment in New York City.
You're slumming. I understand how it is. It's all right.
So yeah, you guys have the pack actually has a nice, quiet, and uneventful evening. Late the following morning, there's a knock on the apartment door.
I'll answer the door.
And you see a gentleman you don't recognize, bright red hair. Is Kennedy around?
Who's asking?
A friend of the family.
Which family?
The four-legged kind?
Hey, Kennedy, there's some guy with red hair here to see you. I don't think he's one of the Weasleys you hang out with, though.
Kennedy will come out of whichever room she's sleeping in. Oh, who am I kidding? She totally kicked Darren out of the bed. And who is it?
And as you get kind of come around into the side where you can actually see around the door, you see Mr. Riley.
Oh, it is one of the Weasleys.
Marcus. Marcus, come in. I hope my alpha hasn't been too rude to you. Darren, this is Marcus. He's the patriarch of the kin I've been staying with. Surprised you haven't seen him around the set. Can I get you a cup of coffee?
No. I thought maybe we can go out and grab a bite.
give me a moment. Kennedy will go get dressed.
Oh, while that's happening, Del will just kind of like walk up and. I mean, he is still in his Lupo's form, so. Honestly, he probably could have been right there, like at the door with Dara, and when he answered it, he's been like,
Bark, 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 bark.
oh yeah. Except that because it's Del, he literally just says bark, 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 bark. It sounds the same to non-guru.
Right.
So, you go get dressed and have a chance to go have a chat with Marcus.
Okay.
He'll take you out and get you. Goes to a nice little corner restaurant, get some food. You guys sit outside and talk. So yeah, I kind of got filled in a little bit about what's been going on. I was told there was a couple tokens that you received.
Right. Yeah. Well, there was a subway token from. I believe they said it was from somewhere around the 1950s, which we used it, and it helped lead us into the Deep Umbra, into kind of a mix between the Scar and the Cyber Realm. Well, we were able to go to either, but we went to the Cyber Realm. And then there. I know that you know a lot, but let me know if I'm throwing anything at you that you don't know about. Then the other tokens, there was an old Roman coin, and then there was this, and she'll pull, because she's holding on to the fate coin, and she'll pull it out. I don't suppose it means anything to you.
May I? He kind of reaches out for it.
Yeah, she'll let him hold it. She trusts him. Trusts him.
And with that, and you're like in the kind of like the corner area of the little outdoor seating area, so you're kind of away from the most of the traffic going by. It's a side street, so there's not a whole lot of people actively walking around outside at this point. He kind of holds it in his hands. He starts muttering something under his breath. And as he does, it kind of flares a little bit, and you see a bunch of black vines kind of spread out around it,
Okay.
and then vanish. That's a whole lot of a lot.
What exactly was that?
Small incantation, I know. I get it from my my grandmother's side of the family. How much do you know about our tribe's history?
I mean, I know a lot of the broad strokes, but I'm perhaps not as well versed as I could be.
Okay. Well, I'm going to do my best. It's been quite a long time since I've dug in any research on this, but from what I'll tell you what I do know. We're not the only ones skulking around the shadows. There are leeches, and there are other, the Korax and the Goral and the other Farah and other things move in the shadows, including witches and warlocks and other others who can work magics. There are also tales of the wild ones, what we call the wild ones. A lot of the mortals refer to them as fairies or the fae.
I've had a few encounters with them.
Our tribe has a much more entangled history with them than some of the other tribes. Um, whereas, yeah, whereas the Striders are known to tangle with the restless dead, and the Shudlords have fought many wars against the leeches. We've been drug kicking and screaming and sometimes willingly running into uh, engagements between the Fae and their brethren. According to a legend, they fought these ancient twisted giants in this Moria, which, according to legends, have a striking resemblance to what we refer to as Fomorians. Um, and our tribe has had various dealings and oaths with a specific house of, like, we have tribes, they have houses,
Right? I've picked up on some of that.
and one of the houses is House Fionn. Their rival house is a house known as House Lannan. I believe this group you're tangled up with is a specific lineage within House Lannan.
That would follow some of what I've been told. I've spoken to some of the Fae who told me a bit about this house, and they mentioned that it was part of Lannan, and this particular house is House Mayfair.
So the Mayfair lineage is actually, well, I've heard the name before. They seem to have been around for quite a while. I can ask around if you'd like to see if I can dig up some more information specifically about the Mayfairs.
Wouldn't hurt. There's a particular individual within the House Mayfair who seems to have an interest in me, and not just in the general sense, but in a very specific one. So anything I can know would be of use.
Definitely. Yeah, what scholars have put together is that most of the regular interactions we've had with the Fae faded away around the time of the Industrial Revolution, until, historically speaking, relatively recently. We started seeing more and more encounters with them since the 60s. But for that substantial gap in between, there wasn't a whole lot of interaction between our kind and the Fae.
I suppose it probably makes sense, since that's when the Weaver started to really flex its muscles, and if we call them the Wild Ones, I'm sure there's some relation.
So, this token seems to be bound with glamour from House Lannan. It doesn't seem to be connected to the Arcadian Gate.
What's the Arcadian Gate?
The Arcadian Gate is one of the Umbral realms.
Gotcha.
So
in other words, if it is going to take us anywhere, it's not going to take us to where we would normally find the Fae and the Umbra.
So from what I know, and mind you, this is mostly from stories handed down, so it may not be accurate, but we do know that the Umbra has a lot of layers to it. And while we go the one section that most of the Guru can reach, and is bordered on either side by what we call the Dark Umbra, which is the lands of the dead, where the restless reside, where the Striders can step into and along with the awakened necromancers in the lake that deal with the dead. There is another reflection of that that seems to be where the Fae reside. It's almost like the land, the realms we step into, lay in between those two. And like I said, that's based on the stories I've heard. But I do know of legends of the Black Roads, the Black Trods, that lead through the Umbra, that can lead you into the realms of the dead, and Golden Trods that can lead you into the lands of the Fae.
All right.
So I don't know if that was any help, but
No, it's absolutely helpful. Information's never a bad thing to have.
Like I said, I can ask more of the elders tonight, and I'm going to be going to the Sept. I have some training I need to do with some of the young cubs that they've recently brought in.
We're going to be there as well. So.
All right. Well, and then you guys finish breakfast and chit chat about the family and general small talk and. Yeah.
Yep.
So, later that evening, later that afternoon, you will get the call. For time and place. We've set up a meeting. Mother Larissa will be there. Victor will be there, and they're asking one of the Rite Masters to join them. So, about an hour after sunset, the group makes their way to the Sept of the Green, the hidden Sept in Central Park, and make your way deeper into the Sept and away from prying eyes of the mortals, and eventually you make your way to where you're supposed to meet Victor. As you approach, you can see him sitting off to the side. Kind of waves you over.
Say Kennedy will nudge Darren.
Yeah, I'll step over to him. Good to see you, Victor.
Hope the pack is doing well.
Yeah, thank you for organizing this meeting.
Well, certainly. I mean, after the services rendered at Valkenburg, I'm definitely willing to help when I can. Mother Larissa apparently was not going to be able to make it tonight after all, but Rite Master Edith will be joining us.
Excellent. Do you know if Rite Master Edith knows about sort of what we're dealing with here? What should I expect going in?
Well, I'm sure she's going to have some questions for you, but I specifically said that you had questions about your connection to your ancestors, based on what you told me. Was that correct?
Yeah, our ancestors and the worm monsters that they were present for the creation of.
So, a few minutes later, you guys are just chit-chatting and caught up, and a small woman, looks like she's in about her 30s, wearing kind of a brown house coat, and comes kind of waddling on over to you. Victor! And she says, with a kind of a really bad Jersey accent that I can't do. Are these the young ones, Victor? He just kind of nods. Uh, great, great, young ones, come, we go.
Right
Get out of
behind you,
the-
Fran Drescher.
Get out of the walkway. Um, and leads you off this the beaten path, near what seems to be some behind some possible storage sheds that possibly the groundkeepers or whatever in the park use. And you kind of disappear into some undergrowth, and you basically end up in a small little clearing, hidden away from most prying eyes. Sit.
I'll sit down and gesture for the pack to do the same.
People always tell me that.
And she sits down and starts reaches over from underneath some of the underbrush, pulls out what looks like a one of those recyclable, reusable tote bags. It's bright blue. You recognize this, what mart it comes from. And she reaches in and pulls out an old coffee can. You can see it's dirty and kind of beat up and stuff. She sets it down and she throws some stuff, some twigs and stuff in it, and then drops something in, and the whole thing lights up real fast. This little mini fire pops up.
Oh, this
And
is
a
gonna be
little-
crazy. Okay.
So, yeah, you young ones have questions about your connections to the elders, right? And the ancestors, right?
Yeah. Each of us has a connection with a worm-tainted creature with a Horseman of the Apocalypse style name. So we want to see what information we can find out.
Well, they all tend to have those kind of names, honey.
Yeah, I figured it was a unified. I figured there was like a union or something.
But yeah, we can see what we can do. We can see what we can do.
The name tags don't have room for last names. Working for the worm.
So, yeah. Well, so we can see. So you want to try to contact your ancestors? Is that what we're trying to do here, or is there something else? Like, are you trying to? Do you need to go someplace else, or like what are we hoping here?
Well, mainly I would like to see how my ancestor killed the butcher, and see if it's something I can replicate if we run into it again. But generally, we would just like more information about these things and how our ancestors stood up to them in the past.
Well, we can see what we can do. With that, she kind of reaches in her bag and starts pulling stuff out, ruffling through stuff. And then you look over, and it looks like she's breaks out some paper and some herbs, and she's starts rolling up what looks like a joint.
Oh, she's that kind of elder.
Yeah, we all have glaucoma. We know what it's like.
That was just like,
And with that, she lights up the joint and passes it around.
Oh boy.
I know
Puff,
you're a
puff,
cop,
pass.
but it's not gonna hurt you.
honestly, this is probably something Dell has encountered.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
yeah,
no.
you would have totally at the Sept of the Pure Heart, you would have encountered similar type of
Oh,
rituals.
yeah. But there's plenty of very crunchy people out that way.
I don't know what that means, but I'm excited about it.
Crunchy, like granola.
So with that, yeah, she passes this joint around, and she takes a hit herself, and see, this is the good stuff. I got this from one of the Hakken, a friend of mine. Victor was kind enough to introduce me.
Well, I'm just glad it's this and not like peyote or frogs we have to lick or something.
Don't you be judging.
Why would you just lick a frog? I mean, there's good eating on them.
Why not lick a frog?
And
We're
with
not
that,
doing drugs recreationally, kids.
with that, she begins to kind of chant slightly silently, quietly under her breath, and the flames flicker, and everything seems to get a little bit more relaxed. And as you're doing, you see what looks like a couple pairs of beady eyes, several pairs of small beady eyes, kind of start watching you from the different underbrush that's right around you. And then the little crackling and hissing of the fire, little fire can she's got going, kind of shimmers and slowly shifts color. It goes from kind of the orange warm glow of orange to slightly taking on more of a deeper red hues and purplish hues. And the trees seem to begin to slightly glow brighter with you. And then you realize you've shifted from where you're at to the Umbra, as the walls around you kind of slowly peel away as she's basically sidestepped and brought the pack with her.
She wasn't wrong. That was good stuff.
So
By means of the magic incantation, I think this shit is kicking in. But anyway.
So, with that, the smoke starts bellowing up some more, and you start seeing it take like the hints of little shapes and forms, as there's a little hint of like something scurrying through the smoke, which kind of stops and peers at you for a second. And that's where it did. Looks like a little tiny rat scurries up to the smoke, and you see other little forms and faces kind of bellow a little in the smoke. So, which one wants to go first?
I'll go.
Who do you seek?
I seek my ancestor who faced the butcher.
Awesome.
The barbarian. I don't think I know his name.
Cool. Will you do me a favor? How many? And roll me 4 d10s.
Ooh, 4 d10s. Okay.
Difficulty is going to be 8.
I got 2 successes. One of them is a 10.
Okay. Awesome. After a few minutes, you hear something kind of dum dum dum, like stomping towards you, heavily, kind of crushing through and you hear the underbrush kind of get pushed aside, and you hear a snap of a twig here, and it kind of pushes aside, and as it does, a gentleman steps into the clearing with you. He seems to be a little over 6 feet tall, big, stocky, wide shoulders, wide build gentleman wearing piecemeal leather armor and carrying a scabbard.
Thank you so much for the subscription, Eli. We're happy to see you hanging out with us here tonight. You do have 1 free bonus dice to either give to the worm or give to the pack. Your choice. Let us know down in the chat.
So, and you recognize him from the various umbral shenanigans you've gone through.
Do I know his name? I just recognize him.
Actually, yeah, you do now. Elric, sorry, Ulrich. Ulrich Vot.
Ulrich.
I.
Oh, good. You speak English.
No.
Well, we have we can understand each other. That's all that matters.
Tug on your sleeve.
Uh,
Her
and-
Amy Umbra. It's okay.
And as you look at him, he kind of moves a little bit. You do see the lights kind of passing through him ever so slightly. He is not completely there.
We're on a good trip. Ulrich, I am your descendant, coming to you from across the Gulf of Time to ask you about the butcher.
That loathsome beast.
He is returned to trouble myself in the kingdom I protect.
And with that, he's just gonna. His eyes kind of get wide. He kind of like straightens himself up even more upright.
Oh, no, don't shift, buddy. Don't shift. It's okay. He's not here, but he's over there bothering us. Do you know how to stop him?
Me and my pack fought him and sent his body to ruin. I suspect there might be, if he's back, then there might be a way to bind his spirit. But he is when I encountered him, he was a creature of flesh and blood.
Well, I think he's a spirit now, and I think he's very dangerous. Your pack, how many members did you have in your pack?
We were a pack of 5.
We're gonna need one more werewolf, guys.
I served the Phoenix site. We were silver pack.
There has to be one of each auspice.
The Fianna speaks true.
That's true. There has to be one of each auspice. Okay. I don't suppose you had any sort of special weapons or anything that you were able to bring to bear against him, or anything like that. Anything you can give us in the form of aid.
Oh, I had a great hammer.
Where is your great hammer?
It has been lost through time. I would assume. I am no longer the mortal realms.
Do you know anything about the other 3 creatures that work with the butcher? The consort, or the deacon, or the herald? Do those names mean anything to you?
No, they do not. I will give you this. You do know that the butcher had the oldest known history of being showing up. You know that he was encountered in basically 403 AD. So he might predate some of the others.
Or all of them, I think.
But I do know he was part of a worm cult. Him and his legion served. We should have razed Rome to the ground long before it fell.
Well, You were successful in raising it, at least. Until it morphed and turned into America, but that's not your problem. That's our problem. Do you have any other information that you think would be helpful?
Yeah, if he is still a creature of spirit, he must be serving his former master. We know that the cult serves some elder worm abomination, but we did not get its name.
Are you still in contact with Phoenix?
As our pack totem, all of us who have served Phoenix still serve Phoenix in any way we can.
Does Phoenix currently have a pack on Earth? Or the prime material plane, whatever you call the real world?
I Storyteller stumped. Wasn't expecting that question.
Yeah.
Really?
No. I will say no. The Silver Pack is called for specific great missions and great deeds. They are called together by Phoenix, and there can only be one Silver Pack at a time.
Do you think you can introduce us, Ulrich?
Sure, we'll make the Phoenix's canasta evening. It'll be lovely.
Darren, we don't qualify to be a silver pack.
Phoenix chooses its champions, not the other way around.
I figured it was worth a shot, just in case
How
we
many,
needed some.
how many totems do you want us to have, man?
Right?
Look, I only wanted to have one, but you all jumped on two.
So now you just decided, like, we're gonna start collecting them like baseball cards?
I mean, they're not Pokemon.
We're gonna be like digging through this deck of totems, like got it, need it, got it, need it, got it.
Yes, it's gonna be great.
Oh,
I hate you.
It's gonna be great till they all find out about each other and then they kill us.
Well, yeah. No, because all you have to do is just, say it wasn't me.
It was a changeling. Stole my face.
Blur the milky eye.
Well, Ulrich, I thank you for your information, and I hope that we can be as successful in our fight as you were.
You're a get, of course you will.
Of course I will. He's a real get. Not a bastard get like me.
Getting what the get is good.
Kennedy is just biting her tongue.
Dell's just like rolling his little doggy eyes, like, okay.
So, and with that, he just kind of fades.
All right, who's next?
Go, Del, go. Experience your past.
I can, yes, I will do that. So yeah, they'll kind of, well, he doesn't lope, but neither does he scamper. Yeah, he'll walk up.
Okay. With that, the Bonar will go. You, Lupus, call your pack mate.
Which one?
The one you seek.
Oh,
The one from the past. You're pretty sure she wants you to howl.
that's kind of what I was planning. That's what I was literally, yeah. yeah, he is just going to. He doesn't shrug. I shrug, but he'll just kind of throw back his head and howl. And no, I'm not going to make that joke. But yes.
And with that you howl, and a few minutes later, a rather large, dark gray wolf kind of comes up under the underbrush. You can see he's got big tufts of fur missing from his front shoulder area, and you can see that there's been claw marks down his shoulder.
Word,
And his-
yeah, missing eye. I know how to.
And his other paw is a little shriveled up. It still works, but you can definitely tell it's more of a more stump like than functioning. And again, he has that kind of faint, translucent, ever so slightly translucent appearance.
What an interesting. Is he? How could a Metis Guru be an ancestor? Ooh. Quandary. I'll think about that later. I'll write fanfic about it later. Hello. My name is Dell. Speak softly. I am looking for oh yeah. Sorry. This is
Just gonna,
This is in the sort of guru tongue of like,
Yeah.
you know.
yeah, it's just kind of sniffing towards the other
Yeah.
pack members, the ones that are not in lupus.
These are my pack. I'm trying to teach them. They're not good at it yet.
Most warders aren't.
There is a being that I seek, and I think you may have seen it. It's remember, it's the Herald. Well remembered, Andy. It is called the Herald. It is. Oh, you've met. I haven't. I don't think I've met this being yet. But we need to. It's back.
It is a. It kind of lifts its hand up, its paw up a little bit. Kind of looks at it a little bit, and this is the paw that's kind of been
Oh.
mangled.
Oh. It did this?
Yes, in its kin.
It's kin.
Yes. It serves some dark master who serves.
Yes. The Eater of Souls.
The Eater of Souls. What is going on? Sorry, my computer's freaking out for a second.
Yeah. Hang on, I just got getting zoom. Not zoom, excuse me.
Come on. There it goes. So,
What can you tell me of this?
it is an abomination. Is a ratkin. It serves this umbral beast. It has the stench of the worm on it, and it brought with it great plague.
It seems
Yeah.
that more than a few ratkin have that scent about them.
And that they spread out across the lands of Castile and Iberia.
I don't know where those are.
On the other side of the ocean.
Oh, yeah. I had thought maybe that.
Me and my pack did what we could to hunt it and its kind down and just rend them from shred them, and we turned them to the grave from which they crawled out from.
How could I find it again? How can I track it?
With that, it kind of the spirit kind of steps forward a little bit and puts its good paw on your paw. You will know when and if it returns, and you almost feel like a slight cold shiver is gonna creep up your leg and into the rest of your body.
Yeah. He kind of gives that little shake.
You will, when and if it returns, you will be able to lead your pack. You will be able to hunt it, destroy it, and find it before it awakens its master.
They seek to awaken their master?
I'm certain. It's showed up. He kind of looks for a second and kind of looks around at the pack. It has returned and has been slain again, time and time again. I see that it has stalked these lands that you call home multiple times. Bringing with it death. Death calls to it, and it in turn it brings death. I see that
Then we will kill it again.
maybe this time will be the final death. But I see that it has stalked these lands. And as it says that, you get kind of a glimpse of fragments of images. One appears to be a bunch of sick people wearing masks and dying in 1918, 1919.
It was here. Was there... Del kind of turns to the pack. Was there a great sickness some time ago? Like here?
Um, you have a year in mind?
Well, it's not so long ago that the Weaver had not thoroughly made this web.
Hmm.
But before the I know I'm basically trying to be like it was 1918, but Dell doesn't know what Dell.
Right.
How do I represent that?
There was a great sickness all throughout the world 100 years ago.
No.
A year is how long it takes for the Earth to go around the sun.
Dell kind of gives you this look like
A change of the seasons.
he knows what. Yes, that I do know what those are. Those are what pass while you wait to get Hamilton tickets.
Yes.
Right.
Many,
exactly.
many years.
By George, I think he's got it.
The
I think the well, if it awakens again, then there will be another great sickness.
you think there's going to be another great sickness? Well, that's not good.
If the Herald awakens again, it sounds like that is the case.
Well,
Or it's not the Herald, excuse me, but the master of these four Fomori of ours.
Well, hopefully there's no great sickness in New York City starting anytime soon.
So with that, the spirit kind of looks at you and goes, "Keep your pack close. They will watch for you, and you watch for them." And it kind of turns and starts walking towards the underbrush to leave. And as it does, it just kind of dissipates and kind of fades off into smoke.
Del retreats and regains his seat and
All right, who's next?
Go ahead, Kennedy. Get in touch with your inner self.
or why not? And Kennedy will walk forward.
Cool. And with that, the boner is like, "Who do you seek?"
I don't know her name, but the one who was here roughly 100 years ago, at the time of the birth of the Herald.
So.
And Kennedy will throw back her head and howl.
A few minutes later, a woman comes walking into the underbrush. She is wearing looks like a leather jacket, little aviator jacket, a nice blouse, looks like riding crops and boots. She has a short haircut. And she kind of looks over the pack and kind of goes, "I'm guessing you're the one who called me." And she points to Kennedy.
Indeed, I am.
Pleasure to meet you. I am Tess Blackburn.
Kennedy, blood on the dance floor.
Ah,
Uh, I like your style.
yeah. Some of my kin gave me didn't care for it, but they felt I was too Glasswalker. But a girl's got to fly when she can.
I can respect that. I'm calling you here because there's a great worm creature who has a number of servants, one of whom I believe you were present for the birth of, goes by the name of the Concert.
That bitch.
Recent events have led us to believe that they're returned, and each of the members of my pack have a connection to one of the Consort's companions. And we think a confrontation with them is in our immediate future. So we thought best to get in touch with our pasts and see what you could tell us about them.
Yeah, certainly, young one. So I encountered her in, let's see, fall of 24, I think. Pretty sure it was 24. Double checking my notes, make sure I'm not misspeaking. Yeah. Fall of 24. I was staying over in San Francisco, trying to arrange for flights down south. I was gonna pilot my bird down to the LA area and then try to set a record to fly from LA out to Hawaii. But that plan got cut short because of this stupid leech. Seems her and her kind were dabbling in some sort of blood magics, and they summoned something up. It went sideways. Finally, when me and my pack encountered her, her and her small little army of rats, we lay waste to them. But yeah, she was definitely some sort of hellspawn for Moria by that point.
When you say rats, do you mean actual rats or Farah?
It was actual rats. But now that you mention it, there was a body of something that may have been a shifter that we couldn't make hide or tail of by the time we got whatever those leeches did to it. It was just nasty.
And you and your pack dispatched of the Concert?
Yeah. We dusted that. Her and her whole little coven of blood witches or whatever they were.
Huh. Where did the name come from? Did she call herself that, or was that what you called her? Or...
Yeah, she was. Well, it was one of those blood cults, and she kind of got herself into, and I think that's what some of her Renfields or whatever they call them called her. You know, the little lackeys and henchmen they have that can go out in sunlight.
Right. I've seen the movie. Huh. Is there anything that you can tell us about her that might be helpful if we end up tangling with her again?
Yeah, I mean, maybe if you could find another one of those blood sorcerers. I know there's some other leeches and stuff that were involved that not her immediate pack, for lack of a better term, but that we encountered. Um, I know that my pack mate, the Strider, just went off because one of them was some sort of follower of Set or something like that. And they have bad blood going way back between apparently that branch of leeches and his tribe.
So, so she was with other leeches, but not any creature, any Fomori who going by like the name of the Butcher or the Deacon or anything like that.
That doesn't ring a bell with me now.
All right.
I mean, we stumbled on them because they were getting sloppy with their kills, and yeah, they went after some of our kin. So, and whatever they were doing was definitely drawing the attention of Banes and other other dark shadows. So,
Right. Right.
but like I said, we put the whole lot to the sun, and then and fire, and then yeah. I mean, I wish I had more to tell you, but
No, this is helpful. This is definitely helpful. Thank you for your time, and return to whatever realms you're staying in.
back to the homelands for me.
Fly well.
And with that, she starts to turn to start walking off, and she pulls out a cigarette and lighter and matches, and she starts walking off. And she starts lighting it as she fades into nothing.
Kennedy will turn and look at Killian. Suppose that means you're up.
Yes, sirree, Bob. I'll let y'all go first so I can keep smoking this hash. Take a nice deep exhale and walk up.
So who is it you seek?
Man, I'm pretty sure it's Vance, isn't it? Is it?
Vance was the name that you had, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, let me talk to Vance. And I'll pull out my phone and tap it like a telegram.
Actually, I'm actually going to throw an extra bonus die in the pool for that, because yeah, I appreciate that. And you say that, and you tap on the phone like it's a little telegraph doing it. A few minutes later, it starts vibrating in your hand in a similar rhythm back to you.
Oh,
And basically, you don't really know Morse code, but you're pretty sure in your gut that you got the equivalent of howdy back to you. And as a gentleman comes from under the underbrush, wearing a long duster, a cowboy hat, a nice shirt and vest, and bolo tie, and has a the shadowy 6-shooter by his side.
I'll walk up and shake his hand. Say, "Nice to finally see you in person."
Shakes your hand, and kind of tips his little hat to the rest of you. Kind of looks at your arm, kind of clank clank. That's kind of a little odd even for an Iron Rider, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I rode the iron a little too hard. Now it's stuck. It works mostly like normal. I'll just twist my hand around and catch it again. But not to be rude, Vance. I need to ask you if the deacon needs to die any different. If there's anything we need to worry about.
That son of a bitch. So yeah, I encountered him up in upstate New York when I first ran into that partner. He was definitely up to no good. He's posing as a hellfire brimstone preacher, but was really preaching the gospel of the worm, doing all sorts of hellacious things up there. So we put an end to him pretty fast.
So I take it the preacher is in the subtle type. We'll see him yelling in a corner if we need to find him.
Oh, the son of a bitch has subtle is not to save his life. Now, yeah, seems he well, according to another in our lines, seems to have shown back up around the 40s or so. Again, causing all kinds of mayhem and havoc down south. I think it was Texas, possibly. May have been Louisiana. I'm not sure. But I know that one of my descendants, tangled with him yet again. Then, and at that point, he was a creature of flesh and spirit, kind of like us.
I was excited
Definitely.
to hear he doesn't die any different than the rest of us then.
No, it seems he was trying to summon up one of his brethren, something called the butcher.
Oh,
We eventually tracked that son of a bitch down too. He again seemed to be some sort of worm spirit of flesh and blood and spirit. But he was stuck in the back roads of the west. I think that what they call him, gave him some fancy name now. When they kill multiple people, serial killer. That's what it was.
yeah. Well, the good news for us is the preacher is more of a herald. The bad news is that the herald brings something worse. Oh, by the way, I heard your piece ended up in London. You know anything about that?
Yeah, I used to have a small flat out there, me and my girl. After everything went sideways with working with Leopold, I left it with her, knowing that by that point I'd lost my gun arm, and hopefully that's not a recurring trait, because but yeah, it should still, that's where I left it. Me and my girl, we had a litter of our own.
You guys get married?
Grew not very much the Marion type.
Well, I appreciate all that, Vance.
But you think these rascals are back again?
I wish I thought that. We know that. That's how the preacher in a vision, not the preacher, stupid deacon, had painted a church red with my pack mates over there, and the Ballinger Weaver's getting involved.
Well, I mean, we kind of have a mixed history with it as far as that goes, but Weaver doesn't tend to like the the worm as much as side eyes the rest of the pack. Some of the other tribes seem to think it does.
Tell me how I feel that. Well, I will thank my uncle for his time, even though he's me in the past. I feel more familiar calling him my uncle. I'll say goodbye to Uncle Gilbert.
Watch your backs. Oh yeah. Tips the hat and kind of fades off.
Well, that's scary. So, either the butcher's already here, or the deacon hasn't brought the butcher here yet.
Yeah. Well, this is a lot of helpful information, but it's a lot to deal with. It's a lot to think about.
So, um, and with that, there's a small thunderclap overhead. And with that, the right master looks up like what the hell kind of look on their face. It's like,
Oof.
and you hear something approaching, Dell, and you think it sounds like some sort of animal scurrying through the woods.
Bark, bark, bark.
And you see what looks like the bushes just kind of warp and open to allow room for what looks like a very small deer, fawn possibly, kind of poke its head in, and you notice as it pokes its head in, it's got a more of a fish-like mouth and a small rack of antlers.
Oh my lord.
And it looks very reminiscent, but not like exactly like Mirherta.
Do you think Maherta wants a audience?
You think this is his brother?
And at this point, the Right Master's jaws pretty much hit the floor.
Offer, you better offer us a suitable greeting.
Right.
And with that, I think this is a great place to take our small, quick break.
No. So too.
Indeed.
We're in danger, everybody.
Right?
Aw.
We'll be
Right.
back in just a couple minutes, everyone.
We're
Following
gonna,
all the steps that speak with the spirits. We talked to an elder, we smoked some hash, we lit a fire. I didn't break no rituals.
yeah, we're gonna
It's like I'm
take a
19
quick
again.
break, get a quick drink, stretch our legs, and all that stuff. We encourage those watching to also do the same, and we'll be back in about 5 minutes or so.